So I'm going to post an announcement about supplemental instruction. Oh, let me make sure that's right. Yes, this class will not have PAL, peer assisted learning, but it does have SI, supplemental instruction. So I'll let you know about that program today. It's for students who would like some extra help getting through their math classes. And there's also the math lab, which does have some tutors who know statistics, but not all of the tutors are comfortable with stats. But you can try the lab sometimes. I'll give you information about the math lab on Canvas. And you have homework due on Monday. So far, there's one homework assignment, homework 1.1. Someone mentioned not being able to see the assignment, and I checked that it is assigned, but if you can't find it, just ask for help.
This lady's fucking weird.
So I can focus. All right, let's see here. If you want to ask any questions, though, feel free to unmute. Monday is the 7th. Let me check that. Today's the 2nd. Yep, Monday is the 7th. It's due at midnight. Okay. We're still taking notes, and we're in 1.3. Just a side note, when we meet in person, we'll do less notes and do more group activities. So be prepared to work together starting next week.
Professor Walker.
Yes.
So I was doing the homework 1 assignment 1.1, I think last week. And I got 9 out of 10. And the one that I got an error on was I think it was the free response, or not the error, the incorrect.
Yeah, it's just that I haven't graded it yet, but once I grade, you'll get full points.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I need to put a little more. It says it's like free response, like essay style, but try to write full sentences. If not, I'll understand what you mean and give you credit. So this question. But just a reminder that this class has a writing component since it satisfies one of your general education requirements. So try to make clear, complete sentences when you do these kinds of responses. I'm going to rewrite the steps on the type of sampling we were talking about last time, which is systematic random sampling. And then we're going to do an example. I have chosen examples for every kind of sampling, but just to warn you that these examples are a bit more in depth than your homework, and you definitely won't see them on your test, but it makes it clear on what I'm trying to explain with each type of sampling. Like, I really think examples help. And we did these steps last time. I just want to go over them again so that I can point to them as we do the example. The first step is to approximate the population size, capital N. Capital N. Then choose your sample size, lowercase n. Then calculate capital N divided by lowercase n. Whatever this number is, round down to the nearest integer or counting number you can count on your fingers. Okay. Well, since this is a positive number and this is a positive number, right now we could say find the nearest whole number, but it's being a little nitpicky. Okay, next. Call that number K. Cool. Almost there. Select a number between 1 and K to start at. And you could use a random number generator to have this selection be random. So pick some random place between the first person and the kth person and start there. Okay, last thing to do is to then select every kth individual and put them in your sample. First example, or only example for this type of sampling, is to have a population of size 11, and we're going to get a sample of size 2. So I just gave you a population of size 11. And then I want a sample of size 2. And my sample size is lowercase n. So lowercase n is equal to 2. All right, we're going to find n, capital N, divided by lowercase n, and round down. Maybe we'll put some decimal placeholders, like decimal, and then some placeholders. Okay. And then we're putting a 2 here. And then I'm going to send this decimal straight up right there. 2 goes into 11. And then you do 11 minus 10. So one's left, there's 1 left over. Bring that there. Down, and then there's a 10 here. 2 goes into 10 5 times. And then we're done. So if we keep bringing it zeros, this would be zeros here. 5.5, which we're going to round down to 5. So that's the rule, is we need to round down in step number 4. Yeah, even if it's a 5.99999, yes, round down. Because you want to choose that smaller number to be sure you get enough people in your sample. If you round up, you might not get this exact sample size. So, good question. What I'm going to do is draw 11 little people, and then we pick a starting place between 1 and 5. Well, we'll also number these people too. Okay. So I'm pretending that we're using a random number generator. We hit calculator or something, forget what the button says. Select, and then it'll pick some number between 1 and 5. I got, let's see. I got the number 3. Between 1 and 5. Okay, so let's just say we got 3. And that means I'm going to start with person number 3, and that person is in my sample. Starting there, we want to pick every 5th individual. So once you reach that 5th person, that person is also in the sample. Got to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if you keep going, there's 1, 2, 3, then we're out of people. So we're not going to choose anyone else. My sample of size 2 includes person number 3 and person number 8. So we'll take this picture and write it as the population in set notation. So your population is all of the people in the study. Start your set with a curly bracket. List all of the people, separate them by commas. Close the set with another curly bracket. Our sample of size 2 is the subset that contains 3 and 8. All right, and we're going to move on to another type of sampling. The next one is called cluster sampling. So the idea is you take your population, put them in small clusters or groups, and then pick a group at random, and you pick the whole group. Everyone in the cluster is chosen. Take this away and discontinue this. Cluster sampling is a process of dividing the population into groups and then take a simple random sample of the groups. So I have some steps and an example. Divide the population into groups. Next, obtain a simple random sample of the groups. Okay. And last, use all of the members of the group obtained from step 2 as your sample. Okay. So I'm going to do an example where the population contains 12 people and we'll get a sample of size 6. So a population contains 12 people. And yeah. Sample of size 6. So what I did was separate the people into groups of 3 and then took a simple random sample to select 2 of those groups. Okay, so we're going to draw a picture. So I'm going to have 12 people total, but I'm going to go ahead, the first 3 together in one group, then 4, 5, and 6 are in a group, 7, 8, 9 are in a cluster or group, then the last group is 10, 11, 12. Seven, eight, nine. Okay, since I want 6 people total, I want 2 of my groups chosen at random. I could use a random number generator. Let's call this group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and have it pick a number between 1 and 4 at random. And I pretended that I got the first group and the last group. So another way to do it is maybe put group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, all those titles on separate pieces of paper, put those paper in a hat, mix it all together, and grab one, and then use everyone in that group, grab another, use all the people in that group. So that the population is all of the people in the study, all of the people under consideration. And the sample includes 1, 2, 3, and 10, 11, 12. Start your set, list all of the people, and then close the set. And your sample contains 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. Your sample is a subset of the whole set. And you start your set, list the people, and then close the set. There's one more type of sampling to go over. This one's a bit it's a bit tricky. We're going to do examples to help make it clear, but again, this won't really be on your homework. It won't be on the test. It's just for good understanding of types of sampling. I know that your homework usually explains how they chose the sample, and then you match it with one of these types, either simple random sampling, systematic sampling, cluster sampling, or this last one, stratified sampling. Okay. So this is where we also divide the population into groups, but the groups aren't the same size. So you put the population into non-overlapping groups called strata, and then do sampling within each group, or choose a sample from the strata. Sampling is done from each group. I think we'll go through all the steps and then we'll see if there's time for the example. Actually, I've got 2 examples because this one's a little more difficult to understand. And then once we get through those examples, we're done with this section. Okay, so the first step is to divide the population into groups. They don't have to be the same size. From each group, find a sample, a simple random sample. Yep. Of size proportional to the size of the group. So this is sort of the messy part that will be more clear if we do an example or two next time, is to find that group sample size. You take the total sample size and multiply it with group size divided by population size. So we're going to write that all out. The group sample size is equal to, so whatever this number needs to be, equals total sample size, like the size of the sample that you want to have in the end. Like from your population, you want a sample of size something. That size goes right here. Multiply it with the size of the group, and that's over the size of the population. Okay, so we'll find these numbers by taking whatever sample size we were looking for, multiplying it by this fraction, which is the size of the group we're looking at, divided by the total population size. Okay, so use all of the numbers obtained from step 2 in each different group as that sample that you're looking for, as the sample. Just in case the study isn't about people, we'll call these members of the population. so it's like we'll go to find, we'll look at one of the groups, find this number of people as a simple random sample, go to the next group, find that new number of people to simple random sample, and take the people from the first group along with the second group, along with all the other groups that we've chosen through simple random sampling, put them in a group together as that final sample. Okay, got like 7 minutes left. So I'm going to at least start the example, but next time we'll probably get to finding these numbers. So in our example, it's a population of size 2000. Is divided into 3 groups of size 400, 600, and 1000. So that's 2000 with another, sorry, that's 1000 plus 1000 is my 2000. It's to use stratified sampling to get a sample of size 10. Okay, we'll go through all the steps next time. And we're going to do another example on stratified sampling, and then we're going to get into the next section. So I'll see you on Friday to do more notes.